Welcome to episode 303 of the Off and Beat podcast with Clint Nelson. I just realized if you put 303 backwards, it's still 303. Everybody in the 303. Actually, it's 313, but you get it. Welcome to episode 303. Man, we're going down 8 miles of desperation here. Welcome to episode 303 of the Offbeat Podcast with Clint Nelson. I'm your host, Clint Nelson. Don't forget to like, follow, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Most important, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to suck some titties. Yeah. Even when yours are bigger than hers. Not saying that's the case for, us folks out here. But here's the thing out here. Recording this on October, I think 12th? Yeah, October 12th at 11:44 p.m. Eastern for the archives. 1 week from the B-Day. Not to be confused with D-Day. Dynamite, because we're having a good time. But yeah, it's been a long time coming, as they say. They always say the fruits of your labor pay off when you eat the stems, because, man, you're just eating bland shit for the longest time, Stems. Apparently. I'm not into the weed, but apparently there's stems. I don't know what this stuff means. The only stem I know is pure stem pre-workout, The word stem, is very stimulating to the mind. I guess that's really what it means. It stimulates blood flow. Speaking of blood flow, creatine. Boy, does that cause some blood flow, all right. Hopefully, the only thing I got to worry about is if you got so much blood flow to one place, could you possibly get, I guess if you have too much blood flow in one place, you got blood clots or a period. See, you know what? The ladies have to worry about periods. We have to worry about, stress from blood pressure going into one place. So you know what? We do struggle from the same things. That is a weird thing, I'm not a woman, but if I was a woman, this is such absurd for me to be talking about, Guys should never, they always say guys should never talk about ladies' reproductive stuff, especially stuff that we're ignorant about. But, as a male in America, one thing I have the right to do is talk about things I have no business talking about. So here I am talking about females. But no. That is the thing, right? Because there's a fine line between, it's like, I'll make guys and girls, Guys always want to be able to, be hard, Whether that's their muscles or their wee-wee or, just their toes. You don't want to have soft toes, You don't want to be that guy where, ever met a man that has worked an honest job his whole life and his fingernails, like, they basically have no fingernails. The fingernails are basically down to the brim, and they could basically touch the inside of their fingers. I don't know how they, get it done, but good for them. But imagine, I forgot where I was going with this. Damn it, Clint. Your thought process is all over the place. But no, let's say your fingernails are gone. And it's like, oh, hard. Yeah. Us guys, we always want to be hard, right? Girls always want to be soft. Isn't that kind of weird, right? Like, I don't know, I guess, God, we want to have hard shoulders. Hard dick. Hard glutes. I don't know. If you're a guy obsessed with your glutes being hard, probably thinking a few other things. But I don't know, I'll be honest. I feel a little sus sometimes when I be watching bodybuilding Olympia stuff. I'm literally sitting here watching a man flex his glutes from behind, and I'm like, that's some nice glutes there, bud. And I'm like, what am I doing? It's crazy though, like this whole Olympia thing. I promise I'll get back on track. I promise. There's a purpose to all this. But I am obsessed. Obsessed may be a strong word. Why are you obsessed with me? And then if you accuse someone of being obsessed, you will get a diss track dropped on you. Boo boo. See, get it? Eminem, diss track, 8 Mile at the beginning. See how it all naturally connects? But all I want for Christmas is 8 babies from 9 different women, if that's possible. But we'll get to Kayla Nicole later. But no. That's a... Jesus, I am so all over the place right now. But let's go to today's sponsor. Wine. Yes, this is like my good luck charm. I don't know what it is. I don't act any different. But me holding some grape juice in my hand apparently gets you guys to listen. So I'm all about selling out arenas. I can't wait till I sell out, I can't wait till I'm accused of selling out. That's how you know you've really made it. And that's what people were saying about Tabitha Brown. I promise I'll get back to the Olympia and all that and having hard and guys being hard and ladies being soft or whatever. But Tabitha Brown, a well-known female actress. She's been in some pretty predominant movies I can't think of. But like there's actors and actresses. You know their names. You know who they are. But then when people ask you like, oh, what's your favorite part of theirs? Like, I generally can't tell you a single thing they've been in off the top of my head. But I know I've seen them in a lot of stuff, She's probably been in some Tyler Perry movies. She seems like someone that would be in some Tyler Perry movies. I don't know if that's putting someone in a box. But where's Roddy Ricch when you need him? I got the box. Haven't heard from him in a while. He's supposed to be like a Kanye protege. But now Kanye's apparently said, you know what? This whole living the God lifestyle. Fuck it. Apparently this guy's girlfriend Bianca left him, or wife Bianca. It was basically like a Kim K clone. Like a Barbie brat version. Not that she's a brat, but looking like a brat version of Kim K. And sometimes heartbreak, which means this next album, whatever he makes, is going to be the fucking greatest shit ever. Dysfunction creates beauty. But now he's being accused of a lot of other things I'm not sure I'm comfortable talking about for demonetization reasons, even though I'm not monetized. But let's just say there are ladies accusing him of doing some diddly-diddly-do stuff. So yeah. I'm going to make an executive decision and move on from that. But yeah, looking at men's cheeks. That's the weird thing about watching bodybuilding, right? Is that the Olympia, I think the official Olympia stuff's today. To people that I've only been aware of how this shows and bodybuilding stuff was worked for the past couple years when you start following Chris Bumstead, you start following. Really, I think he's the only Olympia bodybuilder that I actually watch. A lot of fitness influencers on YouTube aren't really elite bodybuilders or compete. They're just very entertaining and stuff. C-Bum's one of the only ones where it's you like the dude's personality. The dude has one of the most. I'm not someone who's obsessed with men's bodies, believe it or not. But what I will say is that's about as close to a perfect body as you're going to get. From the size, the girth, the width. Are we still talking about the bodies? The stash. That man is well shaven. But no. C-Bum, yeah. It's just fascinating. What is with men's obsession with watching oiled up tan men in speedy bikinis or whatever you want to call it, up on a stage flexing enhanced low body fat, lighting, spray tan muscles. Like, what is it with us guys? What is with our obsession? Be like, man, because like we don't want that, right? Like we don't want to be that size. Pause. But there's something about that, like, man, people applauding your body. There is something about that, you know. And whether you're a person that works out for the most genuine reasons, whether you work out for your health or you work out for just to feel good about yourself and just to help, there's something about people applauding this thing that you are solely responsible for creating, right? Like your body is really like you're creating a business. And think about it, you become a professional bodybuilder. You literally, your body is your business now. You have literally sold your body. Think about that. You're basically a prostitute. You have sold your body to make a lucrative business for yourself. It's crazy when you put it like that. But yeah, going back to hard and softness. But yeah, I don't know. You know, it's been there's something about guys and watching people work out. There's something about it. It makes no sense. Like, you're not getting any bigger and stronger. You're not getting any more inspired, to be honest. Like, this whole, like, you get inspired watching people do things that you want to do. I wouldn't say inspired is really the right word. It's almost just like a reminder, like, man, that would be cool. But it's not really inspiration, right? Like, you either kind of want to do something or you don't. I don't know. But yeah, it's been a crazy half a week, you know. Speaking of, like, seeing progress, right? Like, I think people that want to start something or do something, there's always a false, like, we always have this idea that, like, we start something and it'll just be this steady progression. Like, you know, at first you ain't shit, right? You know it's going to take time and patience, but, like, you know, over time, there's going to be just a steady progression. And there are a few where that happens, right? What happens for the most time is there's a initial push of being interested in something. You have a fascination. I call it the honeymoon phase, right? Where it's just like you're just going off the newness. You're going off the idea of it, the fun of it. You know, it's like a getaway. It's just something to escape, but with potential lifelong enjoyment. Then you do something for quite a while, or you do someone for quite a while. And you realize, like, yeah, this ain't going nowhere, is it? And the recipient, whether that's the thing you're striving to accomplish or the person, is like, yeah, it's not, bud. But you still, like, you know, I still want to do you, you know? I still want to do you all the time. And that thing or that person is like, yeah, I'm not sure if I really want to do it as much with you anymore. And that's what sometimes when you're doing something, when you're starting I hate to use the term business, but when you start a thing that you hope becomes something bigger, right? You know, you hope it becomes more than what it is. And doing this show, you know, it's been a progression at first, plateau, a steadfast for a long time. Some lows, some times where you're like, I don't think I really enjoy this. But then you find your love for it again, and the next thing you know, your love comes through and it pays off, right? Not literally, but you know, the feeling. Don't stop till you get enough. But yeah, anyways, to important things. Going back to Tabitha. Is it Tabitha? I felt like it's Tabitha. Tabitha Brown. So apparently there's this entrepreneur food critic. Or not food critic, but he's a critic. He's a business critic. Entrepreneur critic, which is a weird ass term. We just make critics now. And this man is apparently shitting on Tabitha Brown. I'll just say Tabitha. You know, it sounds about right. And then there'll be someone in the comments saying, supposedly, not supposedly. It's like, who gives a single fuck? I didn't write it down. I said it in verbiage. If you talk for an hour, I bet I could find 18 fucking things that you say supposedly wrong. But anyways. But yeah. Tabitha Brown, you know? She, there's a guy named Darius Cook who's really, does not like her Target deal. Right? Saying she could have sold her name when she could have kept her name and sold like cookbooks. She could have sold 5 cookbooks and made $150 million and have $100 million in the bank. And it's like, have you ever made 5 fucking cookbooks, bro? Like, it's like you could have made 5 cookbooks. It's like, why do you assume that each cookbook's gonna make $30 million for one? 2. This, apparently the backstory with this guy that people are pointing out is he was a former restaurateur at a restaurant. And he shut it down. It basically was a failed restaurant, whatever. I don't shame people for failing. But when you're going to shame other people for doing a deal that's successful for them, but you're like, oh, but you could have made more money. It's like, let's just say she could have made more money. Let's say she could have made the 100 million instead of the 20 to 30. What if she doesn't want to go through the trouble that it takes to do all that shit just to get that? What if the process of doing all that is not really something she's interested in? And 20 to 30 million is more than just enough, and she gets it right there and right then. And there's always people that will say, I would never do that. That it's like, don't worry, because no one would ever ask you to do that, okay? Not to shame the guy, right? But it's always people that speak the loudest about what people should or shouldn't do on certain scales of this stuff. They're always like the most like, it's almost like, not only would I not do it, but what you're doing is like harmful to anyone that does future deals and business deals. It's like, or when you do yours, you can do exactly what you said, right? No one's making you take the Target deal, whatever the fuck this Target deal is. But whatever Target is offering, obviously, they targeted right. Apparently that dog does have a good eye. Oh, my dog Skip. I will say Target, though. I'm not a big fan of Target. I've always felt they were overpriced. And one thing I appreciate about like the Walmarts and the Krogers and the Publix, they at least make you feel like there's discounts and deals. Nothing at Target is ever a deal. There's never like, we're having a 30% sale. Oh, you have a Target, Target Plus card. You'll save X amount. You get points. I'm sure they have a Target Rewards or something. But a Target Rewards card, is it really rewarding? There's nothing about Target that's actually like appetizing. Target is like, so if we're comparing like dollar store, like, all right, how about fast food, right? Let's say Walmart is like McDonald's, right? They got everything. Kroger is more like probably like a Taco Bell, right? It's like it's a little bit more niche. It's a lot more focused. It's a lot of the same ingredients packaged different ways. But I think people respect it more. You feel like you get bang for your buck. There's potential for savings. You can find cheap items. It doesn't feel that overpriced. And Target is like, I'm trying to think of a good comparison for Target. I would say Target is probably more along the lines of Chipotle. It has the feeling of being quality. It has an elitist feel to it. But then next thing you know, you get 5 items. The next thing you know, it's like, holy shit, I just paid $19 for a burrito. Well, fuck me. You go to Target, man. You get this, like, and let's be honest about Target. Their grocery store stuff isn't, you don't really feel like you're in a grocery store. Do you really trust the produce at Target? Do you feel like have you ever seen like a real grocery store employee at Target? No, it's a bunch of, they probably have the person that works in the Starbucks nearby and they're like, hey, can you lay the mangoes out in between on your break? I don't really trust the products. I don't trust the produce. I don't trust the fresh items. And most of their stuff is just like granola fucking items. Like you go to Target, most of the aisles is like granola. That's what it feels like. It's just like honey bunches of oats. Like you're not buying any raw meat from Target and then comfortable eating it, At least I'm not. Like who is like, honey, we need to stock the fridge. Let's go to Target. Absolutely fucking nobody. But yeah, there's my Target rant. I'm not anti-Target, but they're red for a reason. They have more, they actually have more female tampon items with like, they do have a crazy eyelash like sections though. Like they invest in the eyelashes. They invest in the makeup stuff. I will give them that. Target is where you go like if you need to get some pads, in the middle of the afternoon. Walmart's a little too judgmental. I will say that, Walmart is like, you get some stuff at Walmart, everyone's watching you. There's too many employees, there's too many people. Target's a little bit more secluded. It's where the girls are still insecure about their, female anatomy stuff that's still happening. That's where you go. Less judgment. Most employees are female. They get it. That's the target demographic. No pun intended. But it's much more safe. It's less judgment. It's like a CVS. Except CVS is these pharmacies that sell you this shit. It's a scam. But yeah. Yep. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. But you know what? As one of my old teachers would say, if you're insecure about what God naturally causes for your body, that means God wasted a soul on you. I'm kidding. I think that was out of one of those short stories that I fucking hate. Was it To Kill a Hummingbird? No, To Kill a Mockingbird. That would be wild, to kill a hummingbird. I don't know who would go out in the world to try to kill a hummingbird. But I don't know about Mockingbird. But I guess mockingbirds can be kind of annoying. They're mocking you all day. I just put together. So Mel Kiper, a draft analyst. He's a pronounced Baltimore Ravens fan. I think he's like a lawyer, actually. I think he's like a lawyer in the Maryland, Baltimore. Like, that's like his thing. I could be wrong there. But basically, the NFL draft expert. The guy makes mock drafts. So, Now that I'm putting it together in my head, he's a Baltimore Ravens fan. Edgar Allan Poe, The Raven. Cool. To Kill a Mockingbird. Another short story you learn about around the same grade. You have to read these bullshit stories. To Kill a Mockingbird. Mock. Draft. See what I'm doing here? I'm just saying. This man basically created the drafts. So maybe that's why it's a mock draft. You know? To Kill a Mockingbird. Raven. The Ravens. Baltimore. I feel like I'm on Wild and Out right now. Breaking it down. Like Conceited. But yeah. Anyways, back to Kayla Nicole that I mentioned like 14 minutes ago. You know, the girl that used to date Travis Kelce before Kelce decided to, go with the Swift. And I don't mean the Swiffer picker-upper bounty. Even though it sounds like she has a bounty on some guys. But apparently, she just outed that Amon Shumpert was had a little side piece in her while with Tiana Taylor. But by the way, really underrated dancer. Almost a little too good. And she is getting roasted online right now because she said this on Angel Reese's show, which I don't know why someone thinks they would say this stuff out loud and be like, this will be well received. And apparently when Iman decided to be like, hey, you know what? I'm not really feeling this anymore. Moved on from her. And I guess got with Tiana. Or they were with Tiana. He was married to her. Or they were going to get married. Or whatever. I don't know the timeline of that. But essentially he was either with Tiana. Married to her. Or he was starting to see Tiana. And overlap with Kayla. You know, a little messy situation. And not the Leonard type. But he was scoring. He was like leaning on Messi on the MLS, man. He just like, why the fuck am I out here? You guys are fucking... I score at will. Anytime I fucking want. He literally dictates the entertainment he has. So yeah. And in a retaliation to this thing, and people have put together the puzzle. For Halloween, she dressed up as Tiana Taylor. And how she made this obvious was she not only wore similar outfits, but did literally the same iconic photos. Like, people did the side by side, and I'm like, wow. And in some photos, I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes the cover is better than the original. I gotta say. Like some artists, they get very like apprehensive if people cover their songs because some people are afraid deep down that it may sound better than them. Yeah, if this girl does any pictures copying you, you should be afraid that it might be better than yours. Oh. Gotta say, she pulled it off very well, She's a pro, as they say. But instead of using her talents of being a pro picture taker, all she did was make herself look messy. And all it did was confirm when she was shitting on Travis for getting with Taylor and because, he left a black woman for a pop superstar, and it just goes to show that when they use us black women and stuff like that. And look, I get it. But when you say stuff like that and you expose stuff about your personal character, all that stuff goes out the window. And people that may have been in your corner, even now, they're coming to be like, nah, Travis was right, man. He died. I think I saw a comment that I couldn't. He's like, Travis dodged a big booty bullet. Oh, Travi. And apparently people have done some crazy stats on Travis Kelce. On games where Taylor Swift attends, his stats are like 30% higher than when she doesn't. I'm not saying there's a correlation. I'm just saying when your girls in the crowd, you tend to run your routes a little more precise, I guess, you know? Like, that would be crazy, right? When you think about it. Imagine bringing your girl to work day. Like, if your girl has never seen you at your job, never seen you at the position you are, never seen how you work. Because, you know, like, the idea is like, ooh, I would like to see how my man works. And then they come and see you work like, wow, this guy does not know what the fuck he's doing. But somehow they keep paying this man, so I ain't complaining. But that would be the crazy part, right? Like, it's one thing to bring your kid to work day. Like, you know, oh my God, this is what daddy does. Oh, this is great. My daddy's my hero. But when it's someone that knows what competence and incompetence looks like, you know, in the real world, it's like, oh, you bring your wife to work day. Let's say you've been together for like 6 years. You worked at your job for 4. You're in a pretty prominent position. Not the highest, but high enough where you're in charge of people. And, you know, most girls' intuition is like, man, I like a man that's in charge. Ooh, that turns me on the way you got on to that person for not doing their job. Ooh, that turned me on. And then they go to work and they go to your job and just see that you don't know what the fuck you're doing. I'd be like, oh, all right. How are you going to come home and tell me how to do something if you can't even tell these people how to do something, you know? That would be wild, though. But I'll tell you what, it's like, because it's going to go one of two ways. There's two approaches. Like, I'm not going to change anything, you know? I'm going to be the same exact person to you guys. It's like when you have the big bosses at your job. The typical approach should be, well, if you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, you really don't have to do too much different. And then your people start, you know, your people that follow you will start noticing if you're trying to play up to deem to be a better fill in the blank than when people are not looking. Then it's like, oh, this person's just trying to look the part, but they don't really, they're not like this every day. It makes you come off as phony. Now, you also don't want to be like, I'm not going to treat you guys any different now that they're here. And then it's like, well, you probably should, you know, at least look like you're trying to do something, you know. You don't want to be too relaxed out here, you know. Your job is on the line here, pal. Like, you know what? Whatever God has for me, God forsaken. Because my job is taken. But nah, you know, that's all. Like, how do you approach that? It's odd. Because, like, there's always going to be a little bit of anxiousness. Like, even if you know what you're doing, just someone watching you that you know they're watching every single move, watching all your behaviors, be like, oh, you're never like that at home. Oh, you're never that kind when I mess up. It's like, yeah, the difference is if I'm not kind here, we have an HR issue. At home, you know, it could turn into a few different issues. Some beneficial, which can turn into another HR issue. The moral of all that is everything's an HR issue. So, yeah, I think the biggest thing, right? You should always just be the same every day, no matter what it is, no matter what you're doing, what you're feeling, what's kind of the scenery happening. I think most importantly, though, I think the most important thing in this life is love. As gay as that may sound, love is the most important thing because, without love, what do we have? But they always say, I was talking to someone about this the other day. And I was explaining to him because he was having a situation. I'm not going to get too into the detail, but I'll just say they were having a situation where they were feeling very... Have you ever felt like so angry that you were either going to snap or you're going to cry? But it's not like you're going to like burst out crying in tears. You're just going to start like getting that extreme emotion, because you either let it out as anger or you're going to react in the other extreme emotion. Because the only difference between anger and, sadness is just which one are you resisting the most and the other one's going to come out. That's the way I look at it. That's why I try to explain to them is like, you're not wrong for feeling that. But you just need to be angry, just be angry. Be mad. Let them hear it, But, that's the thing. Whatever you resist, not only is the emotion that's that type of severity, because it's like, put it like this, like anger and sadness, they're the same emotion. They are just channeled differently. Like what takes to get to that point is the same extreme type of intense feeling. Then you got like happy. And then sometimes like you can be so happy that you have tears of joy. Basically, no matter what you do, you can always cry. You feel good, you could cry. You feel terrible, you can cry. Either way, you can cry, Crying little bitch. But hey, there's nothing wrong with being a crying little bitch. As long as, you know why you're crying. And as long as crying was the second to last resort, not the first, then you're okay. But no, it's completely normal. That's the thing about the human emotion. Is that whatever you resist the most, it's going to come out as the other. And it's going to be like twice as much as if you just allowed that natural feeling. Like we want to resist natural feeling so much because of the fear of what that situation may react to it, right? Like let's say you're a father, right? Like that your kids see everything you do. But sometimes like it's not bad for them to see you angry. In some ways, it's good to see like, this is a normal emotion to have. And when certain things take place, this emotion is normal to express. Because you withholding this and being disingenuous with whatever is taking place, all that's going to do is create an environment where there are no boundaries of what's allowed or accepted. Like if you go out in public with your kids, right? Let's say, I don't know, you go to Culver's and then some asshole's on the fucking phone or with his girlfriend like, hey, what do you want? They have double bacon, they have this. And you're there with your kids, just trying to get a concrete shake. And this asshole, you want to grab a concrete brick and shake his fucking neck, But no. It's like, there's rudeness, and then there's things that like, all right, man. Like, this shit is pissing me off. And your kids should see that, because you know what? They should know when they see what is right and what is wrong. At least in your realm of the world. I have this similar thing, I have picked up a lot of things from my father. I'll admit. Things that are like, yeah. You just look at a guy and you're like, this fucking guy, all the time, man. And what I've noticed, and I've connected the dots, and something that I know would naturally stick with me, the number one variable across the board when these quote-unquote feelings or emotion that make you roll your eyes, that other people would say, like your partner or people that love you would be like, oh God, you're making too big of a deal, is when motherfuckers are inconsiderate. That's where I think I lose my shit. And that's where I pick it up from. It's just people that think they are above a situation. People that are just inconsiderate. Like if I'm standing in line somewhere and you like hold the line because you're having your kid go get some fucking switch out some jelly jam, because you wanted the Smucker's sugar free, but he wanted the Smucker's, the one you squeezable ones, because it's a few dollars cheaper. Then let us skip the line and not hold up the fucking line. How about that? How about if I'm in line at Culvers, you're not on the phone. You don't wait to get up to the fucking register to talk to your girlfriend. Hey, babe, what do you want? It's like, I don't know. How about you ask her before you fucking left the house? I don't know. You could have called her on the way there. Let's say worst comes to worst, you get to the parking lot. You call her in the parking lot, get the order, or at least when you get in the restaurant, if you need to look in the menu, look at it from a distance outside of the fucking line. Call her, read the menu out while the other people go in line, get what the fuck they want to get. And then when you're ready, then you get in fucking line, and then you can tell them what the fuck you want. How about that? I know, I brought back an old story, but to make a point. Inconsiderate fucks, I don't know how y'all do it. I admit, I'm a piece of shit about some of these things. I am not very good about calling people. And I have plenty of loved ones in my life. I just there's some I just go through a day and I never think about it. I'm never like, hey, you know what? This person would probably want to talk to me. I see people, I'll just say, I see people talking to random ass friends in their life or some boyfriend or some boy or some girl that they're just talking to in the middle of while they're fucking doing a job that requires your full attention. They're just having full on FaceTime conversations. I don't know how these people do it. I admire you, but at the same time I'm like, this is taken away from probably what you should be doing, but all the power to you. But I don't know how people fucking do it, man. I don't know how people can have full conversations while they're doing a full thing that requires your full attention. I don't get it, man. I mean, something's got to give, I guess. There's a give and take, Give, dick, pussy, take. I would say, so what would that? Give, dick, pussy, take. That would be GDPT. That don't really roll off the tongue. Not like PTSD. Which is weird that PTSD rolls off the tongue, but it's such a severe thing. But Malik Neighbors does have a concussion, which is going to fuck up my fantasy lineup. But hopefully he feels better. Which everyone just forgot about that concussion movie, I gotta say. It's a very enlightening movie. Will Smith, though, he really fucked that shit up. Not the movie. He was actually good in the movie, but his name just attached to anything now. It changes a lot of things. I gotta admit. Damn it, Will. There's a will, there's a way. But DJ Jazzy Jeff says Nia Long is mine today. I gotta admit, I am obsessed with Doja Cat. I don't know what it is. You know what? Doja Cat used to really just turn me off. And I don't mean in that extra, you know what I mean? It's sometimes a name can just turn you off from something, or it could just be I think what turned me off from her was her recent music where it's she's always dressed up as a devil of some sort, and it's and it feels like all this music where it's every music video has to involve something like this, and I'm not anti-devil or pro this or that. It's it's whatever. It's entertainment, but at the same time it's this isn't even necessary for this fucking song. You know, it's like a reach here because it's going to be an extreme reaction, right? But what I will say, Doja Cat's got some catchy ass music, you know. I gotta admit, I'm a straight white heterosexual male, you know, and I like Doja Cat music. I don't know what's wrong with me, and I'm not saying I just like the, you know, ratchet ass Tia Tamara, you know. Not that that's really ratchet, you know. But Glorilla and who is it? Glorilla and Sexy Red, they come out with the song today. Say, "What you know about me?" I didn't listen to the song, but I'm pretty sure it's not exactly a Josh Groban song either. You know. Can you believe? I have a good idea what the song is probably about, if I had to guess. But nah, any jizz. Anyways, I'm such a fool. But nah, you know, Doja Cat. I think what's attractive about her, you know, in terms of her personality and her music, is like she does have a genuine quirkiness that I think people like, you know. She is like, and I don't watch this girl often in the fitness world, but Doja Cat is like the lean beef patty of the pop, R&B music, whatever. Let's just say she's pop music because, yeah, she does rap and R&B, but she does like a lot of different genres. She is the lean beef patty. Or I should say lean beef patty is probably more the Doja Cat. Doja Cat's a lot bigger in terms of fame than lean beef patty. Fitness is more niche. Music is a lot more general. But I gotta say, if I say so, money go a long way, Nia. And it's so weird for a guy to like this type of music. But it's just so goddamn catchy. And she has a thing about her voice inflection that's like, damn. I get it. She is legitimately, and I'm not exaggerating when I say, you watch her live performances. She could dance, she could sing, she can rap. She can do like catchy pop music. She can do like some soulful R&B. She's even done versions of these songs into like hard rock and shit. Like she is legitimately like, she is what MGK is actually trying to be. There, I said it. Machine Gun Kelly has had success in the pop punk stuff. But like if you really listen, like a lot of his pop punk stuff, his punk rock music, all the songs sound like kind of the same. His voices are all kind of the same. He has a limited range of the type of music he can sing. And that's not shading. I like most of the music he did. But at the same time, Doja Cat is like legitimately like versatile. She's legitimately good in every aspect of it. Like Say So, the song is probably like legitimate. I'm not even exaggerating. Might be the most catchiest, just pure pop candy songs I've heard in the past like decade. I know it's crazy to say, but really, like you could play that song like that is the definition of a Planet Fitness song. This is what I gauge on like Planet Fitness song. It's like the Selena Gomez, I guess now the Sabrina Carpenters. You're probably like, how the fuck does this guy know this shit? If you've had a Planet Fitness membership, you know what it is. It's the Calvin Harris remix with any fucking 9 pop artist songs. It is the Dua Lipa, which I actually do like some of her music, not gonna lie. You got the Dua Lipas, you got the Zeds, you got all these EDM dudes, you know. You got the Maroon 5s, not the, you know, the good original early music. You got the bullshit Maps. You got the bullshit, you know, Cross My Heart and I Hope to Die. You know, those bullshit songs. Where it's just like, you got the fucking big fun songs. You got these, just, you know, you get where I'm going at here. It's the Planet Fitness music. You got the Halsey. You got the Chainsmokers. It's all the same fucking shit. All Planet Fitness is the same fucking music. It's commercialized, repetitive, catchy ass music that old ass men get naked to and unnecessarily in the locker room. That's all it is. You know? Not there's anything wrong with getting naked to Doja Cat, but I'm just saying, you know? I will say, Planet Fitness showers, they are hot all the fucking time. You could be in that bitch for 45 minutes. That shit's still going to be pretty damn warm. I'll give it to them. So yeah. I guess the moral of all that is that I'm a fool. But yeah, guys are hard. Women are soft, but Doja Cat verses are hard as fuck. Yeah. And also, there's a lot of criticism. Not to make this the gossip channel, but you know, some's got to help the algorithm for these episodes. DDG. Apparently him and Halle Berry have officially... Not Halle Bailey. Halle Bailey. Even though Halle Bailey could play Catwoman. I could see it. Apparently they have officially decided to go their separate ways, you know. All the best to them. Apparently there is a lot of criticism from prominent podcasters. I haven't watched the video, but apparently Joe Budden goes in on DDG. I don't know if it's a serious thing he goes in on him or not. But yeah. I'll leave that one alone. Because you know what? That's more of a personal thing. I don't like to get into people's divorces. Unless they start making a spectacle of their divorce. Then it's all fair and game. But you know what? They seem to keep it respectful. So I'll leave that one be. All alone in the moonlight. I forgot what show or movie that's off. But yeah. I guess the moral of today's episode is just simply, you know, stay the course. Keep doing what you love. We have critics for every fucking genre now. We literally have critics for criticizing entrepreneur deals with Target, which is crazy. It's like, yeah, like they sold your fucking cookbook, bro. Relax. And yeah. And looking at men's glutes and upper back, and it's always weird. Like Greg Doucette can literally look at someone's back when they're flexing and be like, their left lat's hanging down a little bit. Their right lat's a lot bigger. And you're like, I would never want to pose in front of this guy. This guy would be breaking. You know, like that's the thing. The best thing is when you think you have a nice, strong physique body. The worst thing you want to do as a professional bodybuilder actually critique your body, because then you'll find out, man, I really ain't shit when it comes to professionals. Now, in everyday life, people are like, oh my God, you look so nice. But in their world, you're like, small ass motherfucker, no shoulders, no left lat, no lower clavicle, weak ass glutes, lean in the knee, no calves. He has no definition from the sides, and you're like, oh, well, Jesus. But yeah, my battery's about to die, so don't commit battery. That was episode 303 of the Offbeat Podcast with Clint Nelson. I'm your host, Clint Nelson. Don't forget to like, follow, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Most important, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to suck some titties. I felt like I was rap battling. But yeah, have a great day, morning, night, evening. Meep, meep. Ooh, those are some nice pants you got on you, boy.